They weren't the first to do this. It was Blake Lively, it was Ryan Reynolds, this was their strategy, and now they kind of want to put the genie back in the bottle, but guess what? The genie does not want to go back in the bottle.
Ryan Reynolds went absolutely bananas after getting hammered by Fox News for firing a makeup artist and proving that he's just as pathetic, egotistical, and controlling as Blake Lively.
Somebody revealed a source that says he had quite an experience demanding his makeup artist show up or get fired. I'll share that story for you.
They exposed his nasty behavior and put him in his place because, let's be real, this man has no right to fire people just because he can't control his temper.
So gross and weird and manipulative, even if it's true. It's so just... This movie somehow was a magnet for awful people.
Ryan Reynolds, the so-called Hollywood funny guy, got absolutely torched by Fox News. Turns out, this man isn't the lovable, sarcastic Deadpool goofball he pretends to be. Nope. He's just a power-hungry, insecure control freak who thinks he owns Hollywood.
And Ryan Reynolds, by all accounts, seems like a great guy. He is acting. By all accounts, he is a total pain.
And if you thought that was any exaggeration, let me introduce you to the time he threw an insane tantrum and tried to end a makeup artist's entire career because they had the audacity to be unavailable for a reshoot. Yeah, we're talking full-on Hollywood dictator meltdown over some foundation and powder.
So gross and weird and manipulative, even if it's true. It's so... Just, this movie somehow was a magnet for awful people.
This whole mess came to light on Fox News' Kennedy Saves the World podcast, where an inside source from the studio revealed that during the filming of Deadpool 2, Ryan's personal makeup artist wasn't available because they were out of the country, you know. Like a normal human being who sometimes has to work on other projects.
Ryan Reynolds on the Enneagram is a psycho. That's what he is. He's just a psycho. His number is psycho.
But instead of I don't know hiring literally any other makeup artist in Hollywood because it's not like makeup artists are a rare breed of mythical creatures. Ryan lost his mind. He reportedly told the artist, if you don't come back, you will never work in Hollywood again.
Reshoots for the movie. His makeup artist was out of the country working. Ryan Reynolds threatened to fire the makeup artist off the rest of the film and the reshoots they had to do, and also said, if you don't come back and do my makeup for these reshoots, you will never work in Hollywood again.
Oh, I'm sorry, is he a studio executive now? Is he running 20th Century Fox? Who gave this man the power to blacklist someone from an entire industry over a scheduling issue? The funniest part, Fox executives were reportedly frustrated, but they had no choice but to comply, because Reynolds had already taken full control of the movie. This man was throwing career-ending threats over a bit of powder and contouring. Imagine the level of ego and narcissism that takes, and honestly, we shouldn't even be surprised, because this is exactly how Ryan Reynolds operates.
No one knew who he was beforehand. Everyone knows who he is now. If he is a smart sociopath, he'll work that to his advantage.
This guy has made a career out of acting like the chill, easygoing funny dude, but the moment he gets behind the scenes, he turns into a full-blown Hollywood tyrant. Just look at what happened with the Deadpool franchise itself, the original Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds has made a name for himself through his signature brand of humor. The quick wit, the deadpan delivery, the playful roasting of co-stars. These traits have defined his public persona. From Van Wilder to Deadpool, his comedic timing is undeniably one of his strongest assets. But is his humor always as harmless as it seems? TimMiller, who played Weasel in Deadpool, has publicly stated that Ryan's on-set behavior wasn't as fun and lighthearted as fans might assume. In an interview, Miller claimed that Reynolds had a habit of making sarcastic jabs that weren't just jokes, they were meant to demean.
Really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean to me.
According to Miller, Ryan would direct his humor in ways that felt less like playful teasing and more like subtle insults masked as comedy. This type of behavior, while seemingly minor, raises the question, where does the act end and the real Ryan begin? And Miller isn't alone. Several actors who have worked with Ryan have described similar experiences.
I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star. And this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and comfortable that I got screamed at.
Some say that his humor, when stripped of the charm, can come across as condescending and even passive-aggressive. Hollywood is a place where maintaining good relationships is crucial. And if an actor gains a reputation for rubbing people the wrong way, it can have long-term consequences. Fans might argue that Ryan's humor is what makes him so likable. But in an industry where relationships are everything, being perceived as dismissive or arrogant under the guise of comedy could explain why certain doors are starting to close for him. If there's one thing every actor in Hollywood wants, it's the respect of their peers, especially industry legends. And while Ryan Reynolds has had his fair share of commercial successes, he's never really been seen as an actor with depth or artistic range. That reality became glaringly obvious when Quentin Tarantino, one of Hollywood's most revered filmmakers, essentially dismissed Ryan's entire career in a single interview. Tarantino was discussing the current state of the movie industry when he casually brought up the fact that Ryan Reynolds has been making $50 million per film for Netflix. Then, without missing a beat, he admitted that he had no idea what those movies even were. For someone like Tarantino, who deeply values cinema and storytelling, this was a brutal yet honest assessment. To him, Reynolds' movies are forgettable, mass-produced content films designed to generate revenue but not artistic respect. And Tarantino isn't the only one who feels this way. Action star Gerard Butler had a similarly dismissive reaction when asked about Free Guy, one of Ryan's most successful films. Butler's response, "I don't even know what that is." These reactions highlight a growing issue in Ryan's career. While he continues to rake in money, the industry's top creatives don't see him as a serious actor. He's not being considered for groundbreaking roles. He's not working with the best directors. Instead, he's been stuck in a loop of self-aware action comedies films that, while entertaining, don't earn long-term respect. When Hollywood heavyweights start openly questioning your relevance, it's a sign that something is off.
Cathartic.
As if I'm Weasel.
Right.
So he was like, you know what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star. But you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real movie.
So he's riffed.
The whole crew was acting weird.
And in Ryan's case, it suggests that his career may have already peaked. If you really want to know someone's true character, just ask their exes. And in Ryan Reynolds' case, his former partners have subtly, but noticeably, revealed a side of him that doesn't quite match his public image. Before he was married to Blake Lively, Ryan was first engaged to singer Alanis Morissette. The two had a seemingly strong relationship, but in 2007, out of nowhere, they called off their engagement. The breakup left Alanis devastated, so much so that she wrote an entire album about the pain. One of the standout lyrics from Flavors of Entanglement reads, "If I just say it's true, I'm unbelievably insecure, really broken, devastated, then I can move through it." Then came ScarlettJohansson. The two got married in 2008, but by 2011, they were divorced. While neither has gone into explicit detail about what went wrong, Scarlett later hinted that their marriage was far from perfect. She once described her experience as feeling stifled and even suggested that Ryan struggled with insecurity. And here's where things get interesting. Almost immediately after his divorce from Scarlett, Ryan started dating Blake Lively. The timing of their relationship raised eyebrows, with some speculating that he had already lined up his next partner before his marriage had even officially ended. The pattern is clear. Ryan Reynolds has a history of moving on quickly and leaving his exes with unresolved emotions. It paints the picture of a man who, despite his public charm, may not be as emotionally open or considerate as he seems. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are Hollywood's golden couple. They roast each other on social media, post adorable anniversary messages, and always seem to be having fun. But could it all be an act? For years, fans have loved the playful feud between Ryan and Blake, where they pretend to sabotage each other in funny ways online. But behind the scenes, some have speculated that their public interactions are strategic rather than spontaneous. Some industry insiders have even suggested that their marriage is more of a brand than a genuine relationship. Why does this theory hold weight? Because every time Ryan gets negative press, suddenly, he and Blake post some new, viral-worthy interaction to remind everyone how fun they are. It's a classic PR move, redirect attention to something positive and relatable whenever controversy arises. At the end of the day, the tide is turning. Co-stars are speaking out, Hollywood's biggest directors are dismissing him, and his carefully crafted internet persona is starting to feel forced. Ryan Reynolds has spent years branding himself as Hollywood's lovable funny guy, but as more cracks appear, the question remains, will audiences keep buying into the act? Or is Hollywood finally ready to move on from him for good? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more Hollywood deep dives. Because in the entertainment industry, the truth always finds its way to the surface.